My mom expected me to have my dead stepdad's baby. My stepdad Rick died from a heart attack in February. He was only 48 and it blindsided everyone. My mom Linda took it hard, barely speaking for weeks, just sitting in their bedroom staring at his side of the closet. I moved back home for a month to help her with everything. The funeral, the paperwork, sorting through his things, normal grief stuff that made sense. Then in April, something shifted. Mom started asking weird questions about my life. Was I seeing anyone seriously? Did I want kids someday? What did I think about fertility treatments? I told her I was 26 and not thinking about kids yet. She got this look on her face, disappointed but also calculating, like she was working through a problem in her head. She dropped it, but the questions kept coming back in different ways. Do you think you'd be a good mother? Have you ever thought about helping someone who couldn't have kids? What's your opinion on surrogacy? I thought maybe she was processing Rick's death by thinking about legacy and family. Grief does weird things. My sister April said mom had asked her similar questions, but April was married with 2 kids already, so it made slightly more sense. In May, mom started leaving pamphlets around the house, fertility clinic brochures on the kitchen counter, articles about egg donation and IVF printed out on the coffee table. I asked her what was going on and she said she was just educating herself about options. Options for what? I didn't ask. Then the appointment started. She'd leave the house dressed up, saying she had errands, but she'd be gone for 3 or 4 hours. I found a receipt in her purse one day while looking for her car keys. Pacific Fertility Center, $350 for a consultation. Why was my 50-year-old mother going to a fertility clinic? I confronted her that night and she got defensive, said it was personal and none of my business, that she was exploring something important and I needed to trust her. When I pushed harder, she started crying and said I didn't understand what she'd lost when Rick died, that Rick had wanted something desperately and now it was too late and she was trying to fix it. That made no sense. Rick had 2 grown kids from his first marriage. He'd never mentioned wanting more children. I let it go because she seemed so fragile, but I started paying closer attention. Mom had always been close with Rick's sister Diane, but now they were talking on the phone for hours. I picked up the extension once and heard Diane saying something about legal paperwork and how they needed to move fast before the storage fees got too high. Storage fees for what? In June, I came home early from work and found mom in the garage going through boxes, Rick's boxes that we'd packed up from his home office. She was crying over a folder of documents, and when she saw me, she shoved everything back in the box like she'd been caught doing something wrong. What's going on? I asked. She wiped her eyes and said she found something of Rick's that changed everything, that he'd made preparations before he died. Preparations for what? She wouldn't say, just kept insisting I needed to trust her and that everything would make sense soon. The next week, mom asked me to come to lunch at this nice restaurant downtown, said she needed to discuss something important with me and Diane. Rick's sister was already there when I arrived, sitting next to mom in a booth. They both had this nervous energy like they were about to pitch me a business deal. Mom ordered wine even though it was 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. Then she pulled out a folder. Inside were medical records from Pacific Fertility Center, consent forms, a contract with my name already typed in, and a letter from Rick dated 3 weeks before he died, explaining why he'd banked his sperm and what he hoped would happen with it after his death. That's when I realized what my mother had been planning for 4 months and what she expected me to do. The rest of the story is on my channel or linked below.